Time for the 49ers Rush Podcast.
All right, for our third straight wide receiver in this series, counting them down 91 all the way down to 1, who's most important to the 2023 season, he's a wild card. I don't know how else to say this. Isaiah Winstead, wide receiver, crazy story, goes viral on Twitter, gets signed to the 49ers the next day. John Lynch is going to say that's not why. We'll get into that. But Isaiah Winstead, he's played everywhere. He's won everywhere. He's dominated everywhere. We'll go through his journey, what sets him apart, and why I have him ahead of a lot of other wide receivers on this roster. We had Daz Newsome, then we had Willie Snead, now we have Isaiah Winstead back to back to back, and they're close. We had all 5 executive producers rank 1 through 91. We added all their cumulative scores. Daz Newsome had a 371. Willie Snead had a 368. And now we have Isaiah Winstead with the 366. Lower score, the better. But they're interchangeable. Not in the way that they play. They all bring vastly different skill sets to the table. But you pick your poison here. I like Isaiah Winstead much more than those other guys because of the splash. If I want, again, there's reasons why you have all these players on your 90-man roster. He is a guy that's different than Daz Newsome, who's been in the NFL. He's different than Willie Snead, who's been in the NFL. This is hoping for upside, and that's why I've got him higher. Now, his name, Isaiah De Jesus Winstead, wide receiver. He's jersey number 28. He's big, 6'4", the largest wide receiver the 49ers have on their roster. 6'4", 210. 33 and 5-inch arms. Like, those are left tackle arms. He's got long arms. He's tall. Catch radius is there. He's 23. Now, he's not fast. He ran a 4.77. Not great, but not really how he wins. 10-yard burst, 164. Not good. 3 cones, 7.13. All right. You get close to 7 and you're 6'4", and that's what shows on tape. He wins amazing stemming / change of direction, foot quickness. That's what he brings. 30-inch vertical, 910 broad jump, 20 bench press reps. He's big, he's strong, and he's shifty. 20 bench press reps is pretty freaking incredible for a wide receiver. Now, he's an undrafted free agent, and he didn't even get signed in the first round of undrafted free agent signings. Everybody filled the roster. This dude goes and puts out a highlight clip that he made himself. It basically said, why can I not get a workout? Millions of views, several million views, and it was awesome. People were emailing me and asking me about it. Then sure enough, the 49ers signed him the very next day. Now, he's from Richmond, Virginia. He played at Highland Springs High School, led them to back-to-back state championships. 2 consecutive state championships. This dude has won everywhere. He's got a Parks and Rec management degree, 3-star recruit. So he leaves Richmond, Virginia. He goes to Norfolk State for 2 years and was incredible. Transfers to Toledo, was incredible. Transfers to East Carolina, was incredible. It doesn't matter where he goes. High school, kind of Norfolk State, which is, football subdivision, then Toledo, then ECU, who plays against a lot of top-tier talent. Dude just balled out. It didn't matter where he was. Didn't matter the quarterback. Didn't matter how big of a scene it was. Didn't matter. He's just a baller. 2-time All-Conference. He was All-Conference at Toledo and ECU. He was named 3rd team All-ACC by Phil Still's magazine in 2022. Earned All-American Athletic Conference honors. 3rd team All-AAC. It led the Pirates in reception at ECU with 88 catches and over 1,000 yards. He was 8th in the entire NCAA last year with receptions, 88. Dude, he's Velcro. You just throw him the damn ball. And he's such a big target, and he does generate space. So he's interesting in the fact that usually your bigger guys are your deep threats, and he can kind of do that. The catch radius is there, jump balls, all that stuff. But that's not where he specializes. He specializes in kind of that big slot role where he can generate space, think Jawan Jennings, but bigger. It's stronger, but there's still a lot of holes to his game. Now, if you look at just real quick, Okay, the simplest things to film, and there's not a lot on this kid. We tried to dive and get as much as we can. Shout out to Josh, the 49ers guru, who's just killing this series. He's the producer of this series, but there's not a lot of info out there on him. Now, the few areas that he wins, unreal footwork. Looks like a basketball player out there crossing people over. Great change of direction for a 6'4" guy, and he is strong. Upper body is strong. Now, if you look across just his Toledo and ECU days, 151 receptions, over 2,000 yards, 13.5 yards per catch. That's great. 10 touchdowns. That's great. It's weird because, like, again, he had to wait 3 days after all the undrafted free agents were signed by every team until he landed on the spot. And the Niners were freaking loaded at wide receiver. They had like 12 wide receivers when they picked him up. Not that many. 5 or 6 might make the active roster. So he's got his work cut out for him. Now, the areas that I think Isaiah Winstead brings something that others don't, like Debo, Ayuk, Juwan Jennings, Ray. Those 4 are locks, no matter what. But then you look at just a bunch of guys, right? Ronnie Bell's 5'11", Chris Conley 6'3", Danny Gray 6'2", Tay Martin 6'3", Daz Newsome 5'11", Willie Snead 5'11". Then you got this 6'4" guy. It's a little bit atypical of the Shanahan kind of wide receiver, but the thing I keep coming back to, he's got more splash than any of these other wide receivers I just listed that aren't the solid 4. So is it outside the realm of possibility that he makes this roster? Probably. And the initial 53, I don't see him making it. I think somebody like a Ronnie Bell, Danny Gray, or maybe even somebody like a Tay Martin. But this is not a 1-year projection player. Now, this whole countdown, we have him number 74 this year. I'm just telling you, man, this guy has the ceiling factor. That's what's so important about Isaiah Winstead. He's different. There's nobody that we have like him. There's nobody. So if he can kind of prove that he can run block and learn all these different wide receiver spots, then watch out. Because if he's on the roster, he's playing. That's what I'm telling you right now. If he's on the roster, he's playing. Could this be a long-term Juwan Jennings replacement? Possibly. He's fun. I don't know what else to say, and I can't wait to see him out there for preseason and training camp and all those things, because this dude could be the first wide receiver cut. He could make the 53. That's you know what I mean? There's just such a wide parameter of what could happen with Isaiah Winstead, but nobody is more fun. If you want to just go type in on Twitter or YouTube, Isaiah Winstead highlights, it's fun. There's not a lot of guys that could do what he did. So excited to see what he's going to bring. And this will end our 3 wide receiver stretch. We'll jump out to another position next when we get to number 73.